Oh, okay. Am I live now? Oh, okay, I am live now. Great. Unlist live replay when stream. Let's see. Where is the sharing link? Huh? Okay, yes, public. Let's see. Get shareable link. I found it. Here it is. Okay. So no, it's not here. Okay. Patrick, if once you're joined, see if you can just type something in the YouTube channel, and so I can see it. No, so I'm not streaming. Patrick was asking if I'm streaming in HD. Not streaming in HD. I guess I could later. I guess I could have this picture here streaming of myself, but later I'm going to be putting it on my desktop here, and I wanted the text to be bigger so that you can read it better on a smaller screen. So I lowered the resolution on my desktop here, but I guess it could be on high definition as well. Maybe I'll try to do that for the next one, because I was also worried about the performance on my MacBook to see if it will heat up my MacBook quite a bit. Okay, but maybe first I just want to give a quick introduction. So I've been building a couple different apps over the last couple of years, and I want to see if I can build a few more SaaS apps, software as a service apps, to see if I can build a sustainable lifestyle for myself. And I built a few before. I built some apps on the iPhone, and I built some web apps, and none of them have really made too much money yet. There's only one project that has made some money, but I'm going to be shutting that down. And I'd like to continue trying, and I'm going to continue failing. Uh, and so I figured my previous projects, I've kind of done them on my own, and I didn't share too much about them, and I didn't do too much marketing with them, and I didn't really let people know that I was building them, nor did I let them know that it was launched. And I think that was sort of one of the downfalls. So I think for this next project that I'm going to do, I'd like to just be a little more open about it. And I think there will be a couple benefits that I get from it. So for this video today, I'm going to kind of walk through a couple questions about this project that I've asked, that I've listed for myself. So they're listed here. Okay. So just to start off, I want to build a SaaS app, and I think I want to just give myself a timeline of about 30 days. See if I can rush this through and make sure I don't spend too much time on it. Yeah. So if we start today, that's September 11th, and then we'll end October 10th. So actually putting down these timelines for me makes it a little more real, because I realized that actually I really have to get my planning together, because I'm based in Shanghai in China right now, and actually we have a big national holiday at the beginning of October. It's called the National Holiday in China, and you get 1 week off, the entire week off, starting on October 1st. And actually, I'm going to be taking time off even before that. So we already have some trips planned. So I won't be able to work starting maybe the 26th of September. So that means that realistically, I'm going to be working on this from today to about maybe the 25th of September. So what is that? That's 14 days. So that's actually half of a month. Maybe after I come back, maybe I'll come back around like the 4th of October. So maybe another 6 or 7 days after that. Let's say 4th of October to 10th of October. So about 21 days total. Okay. So that's actually taking out a whole week, more than a week's worth of time in this month. So actually I really have to try to get this up quickly. This is a SaaS app, and I think I should also put another realistic goal. And I do have maybe one goal, which is just to get one paying customer for $50 a year. These numbers are arbitrary. I don't know what you would pay for. I haven't even designed the features of this product yet, which I'll explain what's in my mind a little bit later. But I think that's sort of a decent goal. I chose a year because I get annoyed with the monthly payment apps, the SaaS apps, because I don't think you should be paying per month for something that you might be using for a little longer than a month. Obviously, you can pay month by month, but it feels a bit stressful with that decision. I feel like you get a bit of a decision paralysis with that. So I wanted to make it easy. I had a great experience. For example, there's one product that does this, which is Sketch. And they charge a one-time fee, and you get a whole year's worth of updates. And what's even better than that is that even after the year is up, you can still use the Sketch program on your desktop in perpetuity. So you don't have to keep on paying a subscription, but you don't get any future updates after the year, which I think is a great business model for the customer. Maybe they can optimize it and increase the revenue, but at least for me as a customer buying that, I felt very happy paying for that software. I think I paid about $100 for the year, and it seemed very much worth it. Of course, all the other SaaS apps, they have monthly payments and annual subscription payments, and maybe through lots of study and lots of A/B testing, people have found that giving a monthly option increases your revenue. But I think for now, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to do something that I prefer personally as a customer, and maybe later I'll consider moving to a monthly model if we find that people actually like it. So we'll start with this for now. So that's the goal. Maybe by the end of this month, try to get one person to shell out $50 for this and see if there's any value. And so I'm just going to be working towards building something that's valuable to someone. Okay. These are some questions here that I've listed out that I think are questions that I would ask other people when they want to start their own business. So why do I want to do this? Let's see. I want to build a SaaS business. I'm just typing this out as I speak, but I'm wondering if it'll take too long. Maybe I could just spell this out after I finish recording this, so we don't waste too much time. Why do I want to do this? I want to build a SaaS business, and I want it to scale. I'd like to be able to build a couple of different businesses that will then eventually be able to support my family. I do have a personal goal in mind. In 20 years, I want to make $20 million, which is quite a bit of money, but it's also a longer time frame, and I think it's enough time for me to build a number of different failed attempts before I build something that makes it through. So this one that I'm building today, I don't think it will make it through, but I think it will be good just to exercise, have sort of the muscle to build these things and build up experience. So that's why I want to do this. What I want to be doing is I want to be live streaming most of what I develop. And so maybe I'll add this as a question, why live stream? And Patrick asked me a number of reasons why I want to live stream, and there's a couple of reasons. One, I want to just make sure that everything I do doesn't get lost in my own head or on my own computer. I want to make this public, and if there's any part in this process that helps other people out, I think that's very helpful. Two, I can start building content that maybe from this live stream I can start breaking this down to chunks, into parts of more helpful parts for people that are looking into more specific how-to videos. For example, later on I'm going to be building a React app, and so maybe I can have a small part that says how to start a React app. I'm going to be building in some payment processing, so maybe I can have a section that says how to integrate Stripe API into your product. I'm going to do some stuff on UX and UI and dragging elements on the page, and so I'm going to have this content and these chunks that hopefully will just build content and build some following. From these videos, I can also create articles and blogs just describing the same content. So I think you just get a wealth of actually assets from making this live. So I think the main point is building assets on how to do stuff through videos, blogs, specific content, etc. Yeah. I think the second one is getting feedback, and I think there's two main dimensions of this. One, I want to get feedback on this general idea of the SaaS product that I want to build. whether people will find it useful for them, whether they think this is something that they want to use, whether they say they want to see something else built into this, and maybe I'm not going the direction that they want to see it, and they can give me feedback on this. So this is sort of feedback on the general product roadmap, in a sense. And also, I think I can also get feedback on how I'm doing things and how I can do things better. So for example, if I'm programming a certain piece of code, and I'm not a professional programmer and I've learned everything on my own, if I can get feedback from other people on how to code better, that's, I think, is very helpful for me and maybe helpful for anyone else that's watching the video. So maybe feedback on my own work process. Let's see, why live stream? Yeah, so there's that, and maybe also just to connect with other people that are in this space and are interested in this. I'd be very interested to hear what you're working on and what you're stuck on, and maybe I can also help through these videos. So maybe just connecting with the startup community. So yeah, I think these are three good main reasons why I want to do this live stream. I was a bit scared to do this live stream. I didn't want to make myself too public. And I thought maybe also talking too much while I'm working might get in the way of being productive. So I'm just going to set up maybe about 10 different videos or schedule in at least 10 different sections so I can at least try this out and give it a go. And if I don't like it after these 10 videos, then I can stop, but at least I just want to give it a try. Okay, good. So what does success look like? I think first and foremost, I want to launch by the end of this month. So launching by 10th of October. Yeah. And I had already written another goal up here, which is to get one paying customer at $50 a year. I've always had these sort of tangible customer base goals in my other projects, but I've never reached them. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's psychological or what, but I'm going to try to stick with it this time. I think it's good to have these goals written out so that we can always just continue working towards them. What does success look like? And so by launching, I think I want to get it on some sort of website where there's a good amount of traffic, and where I'll get maybe a decent amount of traffic coming to the website, at least just for those couple days. It doesn't have to be sustainable. It just maybe needs to launch and get some initial feedback. And so I think a good place to launch usually is on Product Hunt. I don't expect the launch on Product Hunt to be successful, to get a lot of good customers or to get a lot of payments, but I think I just want people to, I think I just want a sort of end goal. Just launch on Product Hunt and get some viewers just at least for a couple days, and I think that'll be fine. And then get that initial feedback, and then I can continue working on it and see what the reaction is from there. I don't expect to get good quality customers from that. I don't expect to get people paying from the launch on Product Hunt. I think probably just the end goal of launching a Product Hunt and getting some feedback. Okay, so with all that said, actually now I should be describing what I want to be building. This is not the best idea, I think. It's not fully formed in my head yet, but it's something that I kind of struggled with my past project. I want to build something that I think could have helped with my past project. I was working on a website for a client, and they wanted to revamp their website. They had a publication website, and they post a couple articles a week with about 100,000 viewers a month. So it's not too high, but it's not too little either. And so I was the main point of contact for them, and I was managing a small team to launch this new website. It had a back-end CMS system, content management system. And the client was not tech savvy, and they didn't know how to use GitHub. But all of our project status and our outstanding issues were all listed on GitHub. And I wanted to walk them through the project status, the status of the project every 2 weeks or so. And for me, the most efficient way would have been to just show them the list of outstanding tasks on GitHub and work with them on this list of tasks to see which which tasks should be focused on next, which issues should focus on next, and have that discussion with them in person, so they can agree on it, and so forth, and so they can be more in control of their budget and very clearly confirm what they want to spend their money on. But what I found was that it was difficult in a sense to kind of show the issues in a way that I wanted. Obviously, we had a lot of Kanban boards that GitHub Projects provides. So I don't want to show what we had for the client because I think that's confidential. But if you go to GitHub, let me see if I can just pull up another GitHub page here, actually. So we can just talk through this. Let's see. Maybe we'll go to one of my old projects. Just create a board from there. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a repository that I can share. Okay, I don't think this one had too many issues. Let's see. Okay. I just went to a random repo that I have, and I went to the projects section here, and you can create a project. Okay, so this is my project board, and this is what we usually do. What is this? And as you create issues, they'll pop up here, and you can have a Kanban board, and you can move them between in progress and done, and you can also add more columns. You can call it, like, for example, in review, and so forth. Yes. But a lot of our issues, for example, would have different tags, and sometimes I needed issues to be in multiple columns at the same time. For example, I wanted a column to say something like, I wanted this one to be something like next sprint, yeah, and I also wanted a column to show priority, yeah, just so they can agree that maybe the next 2 weeks we're going to be working on these issues, and here's the list of issues that are all priority, and sometimes the issues can be in both lists at the same time. But Kanban boards don't allow for this. They have to be in either or in any board here. So they can only be in one board or the other. They can't be in both at the same time. And so that I found a lot of other sort of these Kanban board styles. So the popular one obviously is Trello. Actually, maybe Trello could have done it. I don't know if they linked to GitHub. But I was also using ZenHub. ZenHub was also great because they had a lot of other stuff that you can add on to the issues, like the effort points and so forth. I think I'm logged into on Chrome, so let me go to my Chrome one here. But again, they still have the same Kanban board style where they can only be in one column or another. And so I really wanted a way to kind of show issues in a way where you maybe had some views, and you can just slot issues in there, and you can call this view maybe, for example, our list of top priority issues. And then maybe have another view saying these are the issues that we're going to work on next week, and have another view and say this is the issues that we will work on after we get some more budget. So maybe just like a different way of playing with issues. Yeah, so I used my free trial here, and it was with a private repo, with an organization repo. So they charge us for it. If it's with a public repo, I think it's completely free. It is connected to my old client. So I want to build something that will allow for that. I don't know how to say this in a quick way, so maybe it's something like a different way of viewing your issues, where you can group issues um, in views. Issues can, the same issue can be in multiple views. This will help. This is just a different take on a comment board. Sorry if you can hear my keyboard typing. So yeah, that's kind of basically it. I'm thinking it's going to be mostly desktop for now. I'm not going to focus on mobile because what I want is to be able to sort of drag and drop issues into different views. So this will be desktop focused for now. And users can drag and drop issues into views. So yeah, that's that. That's what I want to build. And I went over the why quite a bit before. So the why was I could not show GitHub issues to the client in a way that I wanted. What I ended up doing was I used the GitHub API to download all the outstanding issues into a JSON format, and I uploaded those JSON into CSV, and I ended up just using CSV to just tag each issue as priority, what we'll work on next, and obviously we shouldn't be doing that. So how will others benefit from this? This I'm not sure. I want to get some feedback on this. I want to see if you have had any issues sort of displaying the outstanding issues in a way that you wanted to other people and kind of walking them through this. I know a lot of people are working remotely now, and so you should be able to just kind of look at a web page and do this all remotely. So I'm hoping other people can benefit the same way that I hope to benefit from this. So that's just to show your outstanding issues in a better way. Has this been built already? I'm sure it has. I didn't spend too long looking for, I didn't go to page 2 of Google, for example, maybe I did go to page 2, I didn't go to page 3 or 4 to see what other products are out there for this. And there's a lot of stuff with free trials and maybe some that don't have free trials and maybe some landing pages that I didn't spend too much time on but didn't really fully describe what they were doing. So maybe it's out there already, but I haven't seen it yet. But I'm sure it has been built. I'm sure this problem is not new at all. So probably. But that's fine. I think I'm going to ignore this problem for now because what I'm trying to get out of this is also just to quickly build a product. So let's see why. So why am I doing this? I also want to practice building a quick SaaS product while building content from this. There's a number of things that I want to use, a number of packages and frameworks I want to use and practice using in this. So let me see, where should I put that? So maybe to practice using a couple frameworks. So the tech stack that I'm thinking of using to build this is I'm going to be using React. I think within React I'm going to include styled components. I used that in my last project and I actually got quite used to it and I think it's pretty good. For authentication, I've been using AWS Amplify. I haven't been too happy with it, but I think maybe it just requires a little bit more time. So I'm going to continue using it, AWS Amplify. So hopefully I can use it to store and host my website there. I can use it for authentication. I can use it for a database. Yeah. So React, AWS Amplify, and I'm not going to be using TypeScript. I've used TypeScript before, and a lot of times I find that I have a lot of issues with just TypeScript itself, and I spend hours just debugging TypeScript, and I think it detracts away from the experience a little bit. And on my previous project, I've done a little bit better with JavaScript, so I think I'm going to try to stick with non-TypeScript JavaScript for now. Let's see, what other tech stacks do we need here? So we're going to host website. Oh, we're going to be connecting with GitHub API, so we can practice using that. And that's going to require an OAuth flow. And so this authentication flow is still a little bit hazy to me, especially when other people are going to have to connect with their own GitHub account. So we're going to spend a bit of time on this. We're going to use Stripe for payments because I've used it before and I like them a lot. Let's see, Stripe. So we got the payments. Oh, and let's see. I also wanted to use Framer Motion as a package because I think they do pretty good stuff with animation. Yeah, I think that's it for now. And of course, we can add on to this list a little bit later. We won't worry about this for now. Okay. So why will this be different? This will be different. I want to make it a little more zen, meaning I don't want to have so many things on the page. I can't show you the Zen Hub one, but for example, Zen Hub or on GitHub, there's just like a lot of, I feel noise. And so I want to make it a little more zen. Unfortunately, the name Zen Hub has already been taken, obviously by zenhub.com. We'll find a different name for it. The name doesn't really matter. I want it to be very easy to use. So by Zen, I'm going to have to try to hide away a lot of the menu options, so hide away a lot of these links, but still somehow allow the user to use them or be able to know that they exist. I don't know how that's going to look yet. I'm wondering if it's, for example, maybe this stuff flushes into the backdrop. It only appears when my mouse starts hovering towards it. So maybe the opacity goes to 100% as my mouse goes towards it a little bit, and disappears as my mouse falls away. And so people can slowly explore the page. And it should just be this one big blank page with just your views and your issues. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need. So you can just move your issues around and about as sort of your clear desktop. Yeah, these are only two I can think of. They're not very good selling points, I think, so far, but I think we'll continue adding on to this as we develop this. Again, I don't have a very clear idea of what this product is going to look like, but I just want to move forward with this, get some feedback as I'm building it, and get this launched in 30 days. This is not going to be my killer product, but I think it'll just be fun building it. Yeah. So I think that's it for why I'm building this, and I think that will conclude today's live stream. That's basically all I want to talk about today. This is it. Let's see. Maybe I can add a few more questions. How will I monetize this? I think that's a good question. And let's see. What features will you like? Okay. What features do you need for this? Maybe this is similar to how will this be different, or okay. So how will I monetize this? This is a good question. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to start throwing out some bad ideas. Maybe, for example, after creating 10 views, you have to start paying. Yeah. That's not indenting. Okay. Let's see. A lot of creators, they spout the idea of moving away from the freemium version. So they don't offer a free package. And they often say it's because a lot of the issues that are created by the free users distract them in a sense, where they ask for all these features that actually are not critical to becoming a paid user. So it becomes distracting in a sense. And also it's just a lot more tickets to solve. So they convert it completely to just a paid application. And even though they might get lower conversions, they say that they're happier because they have, I guess, less work to do or fewer tickets to handle. I've never faced this problem, obviously, before because I don't have any apps that have a lot of users. But I'll keep that in the back of my mind. For now, obviously, it has to be free because otherwise, no one's going to use it. There's nothing to use. But how do I get someone to pay $50 a year by the end of this thing? What do they have to pay for? By the end of this month, they have to pay. Huh. I wonder if advertising? Yeah, maybe. If it's a Zen thing, and they want to keep it Zen, then they can remove the ads. So that means I might have to learn how to work with advertisement. I've never done that before. Okay, that's an idea. Hmm. I think this is a key question because I need to be building towards this thing here to get to my goal here. What do you mean? Let you talk through this version of livestream. How do I get you on, Patrick? Should I do this on a Zoom or something? It's unfortunate because actually there's a 20-second delay between my recording now and it being live streamed on YouTube. I think it's because I'm using OBS, which is a software, my desktop software, to run my video, and then it streams it to YouTube Live. But I think because of that stream, it adds on about 20 seconds in delay. Okay, we can do that for free, Patrick. It's buddy price. Okay, I don't want to get stuck on this question, but I think this question is really important. Let me go to this question first here. What features do you need for this? Okay, I think this is good. This will kind of go into our product roadmap bit here. Okay, so what I want people to be able to do is connect their GitHub repo. I want them to be able to create views. I want them to be able to drag issues into views, create views, create and name their views. So actually, I have a lot of ideas for this thing. I think it can go quite far. And I think what I need to be doing is first list out all these wild ideas, and um, and then next step is to break them into sort of milestones, because I think a lot of these ideas obviously take a lot of work, and so we need to have sort of maybe intermediate milestones in between. So what I mean by that is, for example, what I want to eventually do, maybe if this thing is actually hitting a nerve and people like this idea, is also integrate it not just with GitHub, but maybe integrate it with your own to-do app. Okay, so integrate with your own to-do app. Maybe we start with a simple one with an API that is easily accessible. I don't know which one that might be, but um, like for example, I use Apple's reminders often, but I don't know what the API on that looks like, and if I can connect to it easily. Um, I don't know if Google has one, but maybe we'll find one. So then, with you connecting your to-do app to this, then you can also drag your to-do list items along with your GitHub items into maybe another view that's called your personal. Maybe you can have a view that's called today, and you can drag all the items that you're going to be working on today. Yeah. Maybe you can integrate with your calendar. So you can sort of track how your to-do items or your GitHub items are going to map out into your busy calendar for today or for the week coming up. I've had this idea for a while actually, and I think some other people have built this thing. I've got the name of it. I'll find it later. So eventually, maybe this can even become yet another to-do app. Which I think is always a good fun first project for people to do. And it's a good basic program for you to learn different frameworks, I suppose. I want people to be able to use shortcuts to create issues / to-dos. I want to be able to allow you to add on action points. That's what ZenHub calls them. I think it's an agile thing where you assign the level of effort that you think the issue requires. So that way you can, as a planner, you can sort of identify which ones you think will take a lot longer, which ones do you think will be easily done. And actually then you can assign your day according to those action points. Maybe you can have another metadata, which is assign action points completed. I also use another application called Toggl, T-O-G-G-L, that tracks your time on what you're spending right now. So every time you start working on something, you just hit a shortcut key and it starts timing the time that you spent on this thing. And it's great for freelancers, especially if you're charging per hour, so that you can very accurately record the time that you spent on a certain piece of work. I use it to reflect on sort of my my progress for the day and how productive I was for the day, and kind of review it. So they have a really good integrations and really good APIs as well. So maybe with this Toggl integration, I can connect it directly with GitHub issues that you worked on. I don't know what that would do, but that's just an idea. I think eventually this should kind of come neck to neck with ZenHub, or other apps that do something similar. Maybe like Asana. Asana just had a really nice IPO, or I think they just announced that they were going to IPO. So that's sort of like the very long-term goal for this thing. I think we can add on a lot more things. But obviously, so for example, before we start getting into creating these to-dos, I think there should be a number of steps that we build up and that are workable, that still make the product complete before we reach this to-do integration. For example, I need to have my own database. I can't just rely on the GitHub database for these issues. I have to have my own database in case someone wants to create another to-do that doesn't go on GitHub. So I have to set up that database first. I need to be able to allow the functionality for people to check things off, and so forth. So I think these are the main features. Obviously, so there should be a team functionality. Oh, that one will be far in the future. Yeah, I think we'll start off with these for now because I think there's a lot that we can add on, and we're obviously not going to get to a lot of these this month. Okay, I think that's it. What other questions do I think I should consider? Hmm. Just gonna wait a few seconds, Patrick, if you have anything to add. 21 days to build this. Bare minimum MVP. That's a good question. Okay. Okay, bare minimum MVP. I think I want people to be able to connect with GitHub, see all of their issues for one repo. We're going to keep it simple, and be able to create, name, edit, and delete a view. And I want them to be able to drag GitHub issues into views. And I want them to be able to subscribe for a 1-year subscription. And let's see. I don't know if I should add this on, but I think some other projects, they don't allow you to, maybe we won't do this yet. What I'm thinking of is allowing the user to disconnect all their stuff and delete it. But I think this is just an automation thing. I think if they want to delete it, then they can first just manually message me saying I want to delete my account and disconnect from GitHub, and then I can just do it on the back end. And then I think later on, obviously, we'll include that functionality. So I think this is the bare minimum. Drag GitHub issues into views. Yeah, that's it. So we won't even be able to resize the views. I think the views will automatically just be resized by the GitHub, but I think later, of course, we want to allow for some functionality. People can't even edit their GitHub issues yet, but maybe they can connect. They can click on the issue, and it will direct them to the GitHub issue page. So click an issue to go to GitHub, that issue on github.com. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Keep it simple, even though this is actually pretty complicated because authentication is difficult. Subscriptions, setting up the payment page can be difficult, even though they have Stripe checkout and they're developing that very quickly right now. We'll be using Stripe checkout just so we can get it off the ground really quickly. But this could be a little bit. And then let's see. I think. Oh, you know what? We haven't even talked about saving the view. I think saving the view might be critical. So obviously, if they drag something into a view and then they leave the website, that data is going to be gone. So we need to be able to save the view. Yeah. So this will require databasing. Okay. Okay. I don't want to waste anyone's more time, so I'm just going to keep this. This is not that short, but I think any other ideas that pop up, we'll talk about in the next live stream. Thanks for listening, Patrick.